it comes as no surprise that all of the shelves are bare across the nation. It's super difficult to come across ammo. It's super difficult to come across ammo to train, ammo for self-defense. And so how do you stay sharp? How do you make sure that your skills don't deteriorate? How do you make sure that you are able to get the skills necessary so that way if you did ever need to use your firearm, you could do so without needing to spend $1 per round, which is absolutely ridiculous about what's going on. So, let's assume, hey, you didn't stockpile. But to be honest, even if you did stockpile, like myself, I do have a nice healthy stockpile. I still feel like a little worried about dipping into that stockpile without the ability to replenish it. And so I'm going to walk you through what I have been doing instead in order to maintain and keep my skills sharp. Once again, stick around to the end of the video because we're also going to walk you through how you'll be able to win one of these brand new ESEE4s. It is the perfect survival knife. We've already sent out a bunch. Dan, Jeff, Travis, Toby, Kristen, congratulations to y'all. We're looking forward to sending out not just this one. We're going to do something extra special. We're not just giving away the ESEE4 this time. We're also going to be giving away everything that's in my minimalist ultralight bag. And so if you haven't checked out that video, we've got the bee-free Catadine filter. We've got some awesome goodies, including the Tinderwick lighters and you've got the full 10 C's of survival is inside this backpack, and we're giving this away over $500 worth of goodies. So stick around to the end of the video to find out how you'll be able to win everything that's inside this backpack to kickstart your preps with a minimalist ultralight bug out kit. So what have I been doing? What have I been doing to train while we're in the pandemic? And so the main thing that I've been doing has been dry firing. Particularly dry firing with the Mantis X10. And in fact, I actually think this has been sitting on my wish list for years. It always looked like one of those nice to have items. It always looked like, hey, I'd like to get that eventually. But, it was always around $200. It was always very expensive. I'd be like, I'd rather go to the range. I'd rather spend that on ammo. I'd rather spend that on another gun. And so I never really pulled the trigger on the Mantis X until the pandemic started. Number one, ammo is hard to come by. Number two, getting to the gun range is difficult. And so it really wasn't until this pandemic happened that I really pulled the trigger on the Mantis X. And for the last few weeks, I have been training with this, I'm not gonna lie, not every day, but as much more regularly than when I was going to the range. Maybe I'll do it once a week. Maybe I'll do it a couple times per week. That's still a lot more than the amount of times that I would make it to the gun range. And what I love about this is the immediate feedback that I get from the system. The immediate feedback on whether I'm using too much trigger finger, not enough, if I'm breaking forward, if I am anticipating the shot. The Mantis X program, we're going to walk you through that, does a phenomenal job of giving you audible feedback and giving you immediate feedback on whether or not you are firing the firearm in the proper way. And you know what? The one time I did go to the range, I noticed a drastic improvement. I was keyholing shots way more than before, where my shots were, much larger groupings, whereas now I'm doing a much better job of knowing what was wrong and not anticipating the shot. And so we're going to do a quick demo of the system right now. So first thing we're going to do is a safety check. You can see here, there's nothing inside the chamber, nothing inside here. This is actually my dedicated dry fire gun. So I keep this pretty solid. So what I also use is I use these targets. So this one I received from Hidden Hybrid. I also love these targets from T-Rex Arms. I'll actually put a link in the description to this. I really appreciate T-Rex Arms putting together a bunch of these targets. I actually use these at the range, and it gives you a couple different options in terms of how to properly use or just how to warm up, whether draw firing or anything that may come. So the way that we're going to use this Mantis X, I typically use it on my phone. We're going to try it on my iPad, see if that works. The first option is to first connect. And so what you do is there's a button at the bottom of the Mantis X. And so make sure that that's turned on and hit connect. All right. So there, if you take a look at the actual program, we're going to bring this up here. There's a couple different options. So typically this is on a phone. So you can see that there's a couple different options. So you can see there's open training, there's a shot timer. So you don't even need a shot timer with this. There's a Mantis X benchmark, which allows you to benchmark your shots. There's also these all like reload drills, which I really love, cadence drills, hostage taker drills. I mean, the amount of fun that you can get inside of this program is phenomenal. But for this video, we're going to stick to the simple demonstration, which is just simply the Mantis X benchmark. So we'll hit start. We'll make sure that we are in battery, and we'll give it a quick. So I have to keep this parallel. So you can see here, I'm obviously not aiming. I'm just trying to demonstrate. So you get your 10 shots. So I'm not aiming. I wasn't doing anything there. I was just trying to demonstrate. So obviously the 73, like that's pretty terrible. I'm typically in the 90s. But what I like about it is it'll show you what is going on here. And so you can see here the possible causes, like what's going on here. It's too little trigger finger. And so you can see here that, hey, there's something you can analyze what's going on in terms of your holding pattern. You can see how the target itself is shifting. And so what I also like about this is you can actually click into the too little trigger finger and it'll actually walk you through how to possibly fix the problem. What I love about this is the ability to get that audible feedback. In fact, I don't have the settings on, but you can even turn on an audible feedback where it'll tell you whether you got a ping or a miss. And the ping will be determined based on your score benchmark. So if you wanted to go above a 90, for instance, which is where I typically try to aim, it'll give me that audible feedback. I love also the reload drills. There's some phenomenal reload drills. So you can take a look at this one. So you can have a reload in battery or out of battery. I like the out of battery because that simulates the ability to, if you are on empty. So I'll typically use, I have 2 dedicated dry fire mags. And so you can see here, we're out of battery. We can hit start. And so what this will allow you to do is wait, practice, insert, and now you're back in battery, and then you fire. And so it'll actually give you your time. Obviously that was not prepped, but I'm just trying to demonstrate here. Your score, I got a 71 in terms of my shot, and it took me 6.56 seconds. You kind of want to get a reload drill kind of under 3 seconds. And so you can start to develop these skills over time, and you can do this from the comfort of your own home. There's no need to go anywhere. You can have these set up in a safe location and you're already ready to go. We've already also talked about these plastic snap caps, which I love the plastic snap caps because number one, if you take a look, the plastic actually ends up getting chewed away. And because it gets chewed away, they refuse to extract, and so it'll create a double feed. And if you never cleared a double feed during a high stress tactical course, I mean, they are extra tasty. You want to talk about a problem that's getting created. These things are phenomenal. In fact, when me and my buddy do go to the range, we will reload each other's mags, and I'll be putting in some plastic snap caps in his. He puts some snap caps in mine, and so that way we're not aware of when the malfunctions are going to happen. And so we'll be on the range and a malfunction will happen, and we'll immediately need to run into either a tap rack reload drill or a tap rack bang drill, or immediately putting the slide in the rear to be able to clear a double feed. And so those things, you start practicing them at home, and you can tell who dry fires at home and who doesn't when you go to the tactical courses. The mechanics are fluid. I mean, the motions are fluid. You just feel a lot more confident with your firearm. And so while $200 seems like a lot of money, I mean, if you think about the amount of practice sessions that I've had at home, I mean, I would have spent $1,000 on the range with live ammo with the amount of money. So this thing actually ends up saving me money because I'm able to get a lot more training done at home that directly translates to skills on the range and on courses. In addition to that, I think it's just this particular one, the Mantis X10, also does a draw analysis. And so you can actually practice your draw stroke, and you can do so from the safety of your own home. You can do so without any live ammunition, so it's extra safe. And I think it's just a phenomenal system. And I definitely think if you've got the money, if you can afford it, you can do it. I think it's worth getting. If not, dry fire by yourself. There's nothing wrong with dry firing without the haptic feedback. You're still going to get a lot of just getting the reps in is going to be phenomenal. Now, not everything is great about this. Number one, you can see the actual app itself. While it's not buggy at all, it actually works phenomenal. It's not very well designed. The app itself is, we could definitely use some improvement. We can make it a little bit more like a video game, make it a little bit more fun. It's not, poorly designed in whatsoever. It works phenomenal. In fact, I've never had any issues with it. But I would like to see, hey, MantisX, if you're out there, hire a good designer, make it a little more like a game. It would be fun, make it more fun. And in fact, even if you're able to put a target there and show me where I am missing or where I'm hitting, that would be a great way to look at it. The other thing, dry firing. I mean, I know that there's magazines out there that fix this problem, but I've heard mixed reviews about them. And on top of that, they're $100. Number one, the fact that I have to rack it after every time I take a shot. I feel like that potentially could be developing bad habits. Number two, you could see if you've got a mag in there, obviously it's going to lock the slide to the rear. And so you have to practice without a mag if you want to just rack each time. So if you want to rack and shoot each time, you have to do so without a mag. If you have the mag, obviously every time you rack, you're going to be on empty. And so you've got a lot more. It's just an awkward. I wish that someone would solve this problem with the ability to have a mag that would allow you to rack each time and allow you to take multiple shots that would match the actual trigger pressure of the standard Glock trigger. So it's not perfect, but let me tell you, I mean, I was worried about those, bad muscle habits. Those bad muscle habits did not translate when I went to the range. In fact, like I was mentioning, I was keyholing shots and everything was phenomenal. And so while this stuff is still highly expensive, I mean, even 1022 ammo is still very hard to come by. While this stuff is still, difficult to come by, pick up a Mantis X and be able to train at home. I think you'll end up being very happy with the results. All right. So with that, let's talk about the giveaway. So for the giveaway itself, you're obviously going to win not only the SE4, but you're going to win everything that's in my ultralight bug out kit, from all of the goodies, from cordage to the cutting tools to the combustion tools to the cover, everything you need to sort of get started. You can enter in one of two ways. Number one, all you need to do is subscribe and leave a comment. That's it. On this video, on any video, and you'll be instantly entered for the giveaway. But if you wanted to increase your entries, all you need to do is, in the description, there's a link to my Patreon. Subscribe to any one of those. For each $1, you're going to get 10 entries. And so you can do 30 entries for $3, 90 entries for $9, 25 entries for, or 250 entries for $25. If you really appreciate it, I use all that money to end up getting the gear that we use to review on this channel and really help support the channel. So I really appreciate that. So check out the Patreon. But if you didn't have any money, no worries. Just leave a comment. I still appreciate it. We would not be growing as fast if it wasn't for the Wolfpack, if it wasn't for the community. So thank you so much. Additionally, I'll put a link to the Mantis X in the description. Hope you check it out. Hope you click that. Other than that, I would recommend turning on notifications and hit the like button. I really appreciate both of those things because number one, the like button increases the algorithm so the video gets shown faster, so we can grow faster, so we can give it away. We're going to be giving this away at 10,000 subscribers, which should be happening in a few weeks, hopefully. So once again, recap, in order to enter, all you need to do is either subscribe and leave a comment or subscribe via Patreon and you're instantly entered to win not only the SE4, but everything in my ultralight bug out kit. Really looking forward to the next one. Thanks everyone. Cheers.